I want to say a couple of things. Sunday is Father's Day. And as you know, I feel very strongly about the importance of having a father in the home. It, of course, is not a death sentence. My father did not know his father. The name Elder, my last name, is a name of a man who was in his life the longest. My father told me maybe 3-4 years. His mother was illiterate, very irresponsible, didn't work, had a series of boyfriends that she sort of lived off of. And Elder was in his life the longest. My dad came home at the age of 13, began quarreling with his mom's then boyfriend, and his mother sided with the boyfriend, throws my father out of the house at the age of 13. Never to return. Black boy, Jim Crow South, Athens, Georgia, at the beginning of the Great Depression. And I've written about my father and about the 8-hour conversation we had when I was 25 years old. The hardcover book is called Dear Father, Dear Son, 2 Lives, 8 Hours. And the paperback is called A Lot Like Me, same book, different title. I bring this up because, again, Father's Day is on Sunday, and I strongly urge those of you who can't think of a gift to give your father, I would suggest that this might very well be the gift. And I mention it because I had a meeting today with somebody who says he may attempt to try and make the book into some sort of film project, either a movie or a miniseries or something. And I've long thought about doing that. And this is one of many conversations I've had about doing that, but this is one of the more serious ones. And so I'll keep you posted. And the message of the book, and there are many, but one of them is that of perseverance and believing in yourself. Because I asked my father over and over again, who did he believe in? Who was his role model? Who did you look up to? And my father said, sometimes you have to be your own role model. And he told me, if you try hard, it's been his experience that people will come and help you. But most of all, he said, you have to believe in yourself. And I've thought many times about people when they ask me about my career in radio, because people assumed I just kind of rolled out of bed and just walked into a radio station. Voila, next thing you know, I'm in hundreds of markets and over 1 million people hear me every day and so forth. The first time I did radio, I was living in Cleveland, and I'd written an op-ed piece, and it was published in the Plain Dealer, the principal newspaper in the state of Ohio. And this is almost 30 years ago, and I said that racism is no longer a major problem in America. If you work hard, avoid making bad moral mistakes, you'll be just fine. I talked about the thriving black middle class, the large number of black doctors, black lawyers that are coming online, and so forth. And I get a phone call from a producer of a radio show. And he said, you don't believe that racism is a major problem in America anymore? I said, no, I don't. He said, no, Lord knows that we still have racism. The issue is whether or not it can stop somebody who's willing to work hard and persevere, and my answer is no. And he said, are you black? And I said, I think so. And he said, would you be willing to come on my host show tonight and talk about this? And I said, sure. So I was on for a whole hour. As a radio host, I know putting somebody on for an entire hour is amazing, especially if he's never been on radio before. And I was called all sorts of names. I was called a bootlicking Uncle Tom, a foot-shuffling bootlicking Uncle Tom, bug-eyed foot-shuffling bootlicking Uncle Tom, Oreo, coconut, the Antichrist. But you know what I was not called a single time? I was not called wrong about anything I said. And I really enjoyed it. And the guy that asked me to sit in for the week said if we had an opening, we would make you an offer because you just are amazing. I've never seen the like of it. You have a good speaking voice. You took difficult positions. You explained them in ways that people could understand. And you defended your positions without losing your temper or your sense of humor. Have you ever thought about doing talk radio? I said, no. He said, I would suggest that you should pursue this. Now, there was one other radio station in Cleveland. And so I contacted the station manager and talked my way into getting a stint, one show. And I did one show. By the way, the gap between the time I did that week of shows for that first station, and the time I did the next one might have been 6 months or even a year. So I did the show for, I think it was 2 hours maybe. And after I finished, the guy says, "I'm sorry, not interested." I said, "Why?" He said, "I don't like the way you deal with callers." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You took that guy's head off." And I did take his head off. And I said, "Do you realize I've done 6 shows in my life? I have no idea how to take a phone call, how to deal with a caller. I don't even listen to talk radio." I said, "Work with me. I will get better." He said, No, I have an ear, and I can tell you just don't have it." Really? How many years have I been on the air now? 30 years? Nationally syndicated columnist, New York Times best-selling author. I've won an Emmy. I have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But this gentleman, he has an ear, and he could tell I just don't have it. Moral to the story, believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you persevere. The book is called Dear Father, Dear Son, the paperback, A Lot Like Me. I'm Larry Elder.